1161, King Baldwin IV, the Leopard King, son of King Almeric and Queen Agnes of Courtenay, was born in Jerusalem. He appeared to be well suited to inherit the Crusader realm as a young man with both intellectual and athletic talent. William of Tyre, a royal tutor and chronicler, characterized his youth as follows. He made good progress in his studies, and as time passed, he grew up full of hope and developed his natural abilities. He was a good-looking child for his age and more skilled than men who were older than himself in controlling horses and in riding them at a gallop. He had an excellent memory, and he loved listening to stories. The tutor made a startling discovery one day. Baldwin never cried out in agony while playing rough with pals, even when the other kids dug their fingernails into his arm. Baldwin's arms were completely numb, a telltale sign of leprosy. But William of Tyre initially thought they were restraints because of the 9-year-old's prince's reputation for grit. After 4 years, King Almeric passed away unexpectedly. Baldwin was made king despite his illness by the unanimous verdict of the High Court of Jerusalem. 2 miles of Plaincy, the closest relative, was made regent because he was only 13. Soon after, Miles was killed and Raymond of Tripoli took his place. Increasing hostilities between the Crusader realm and its Muslim adversaries were controlled by Raymond of Tripoli using a policy of concession, and in 1175 he reached a comprehensive peace with Saladin. The deal gave the Muslim leader a big advantage. Saladin had free license to assemble his armies throughout conquest in Syria, where his trajectory suggested he intended to encircle the Crusader kingdom, as Jerusalem had decided not to aid the Sicilians invading the Egyptian stronghold. Saladin continued his mission with freedom until Jerusalem's new administration put an end to his road joyride. Baldwin became of age in 1176 and was just 15 when he assumed control of the country. His condition had gotten worse in the 2 years after his coronation and was now easily identified as leprosy. However, he had the fortitude and character required to rule. According to historian Stephen Howarth, Baldwin assumed full power and soon showed that he had made up for any disability with sheer nerve. The marriage of Baldwin's heir, his older sister Sibiya, was the most urgent issue of the kingdom due to his illness and the likelihood that he would not produce a successor. In truth, William de Montferrat, a member of a wealthy North Italian family, had already been chosen as her spouse by Tripoli. Sibiya became pregnant at the age of 17 when William tragically passed away in the summer of 1177. In the meantime, the kingdom of Jerusalem's adversaries grew more powerful following the murder of the vizier in Cairo by the Kurdish general Saladin. Egypt was proclaimed Sunni after the Fatimid Caliph passed away. Saladin was able to take power in Damascus after the death of the city sultan in 1174, and Nur ad-Din's heir fled to Apello. Saladin virtually united Shia Egypt and Sunni Syria under his control by 1177. Even though it would take him nearly 10 more years to solidify his position and drive out all of his opponents to further his own illegitimacy, he also launched war against the Christian nations in the Holy Land. Baldwin IV continued his father's policy of close cooperation with the Byzantine Empire in an effort to thwart Saladin's ascension. He intended to jointly attack Egypt in order to take advantage of Saladin's Shia Arab subjects' discontent and their animosity for a Kurdish Sunni invader. Unfortunately, the alliance broke up when the Count of Flanders, who had traveled from west with a sizable army, believed he should be appointed king of Egypt if he assisted in its conquest. After the Byzantine navy departed, many of the lords and knights of Jerusalem accompanied Flanders as he embarked on a campaign against Syria. Saladin knew that the kingdom of Jerusalem was essentially helpless in front of him as he prepared his soldiers to face the anticipated assault, invading, ravaging, and pillaging. As he moved north, he left strongholds like the Templar citadel in Gaza unharmed until he reached Ascalon. Ascalon, which the Egyptians controlled until 1153, was seen as a crucial strategic location for either the defense of Egypt or the assaults of Jerusalem. Saladin got ready to swarm the city. Baldwin IV made a bold move by riding to Ascalon's aid with only 367 knights, arriving there just as the Sultan's army was about to conquer it. With just these 367 knights, he defeated almost 26,000 opponents. They were surrounded by God's power. Saladin made the decision to attack for the most valuable target of all, Jerusalem. Because Baldwin was now confined within Jerusalem and was essentially defenseless due to his massive military advantage and lack of regard for a 16-year-old leopard, Saladin authorized his forces to continue. He made a bad calculation. On November 25th, 1177, Baldwin sailed out of Ascalon, summoned the feudal levies, and attacked Saladin, achieving a surprising and beautiful victory. This changed the world because it showed the strength the Crusaders had through God. They were victorious when all odds were against them, protecting many innocent lives from Islam.